And that's where I am now, in the black room. I call it dark state. It's dark state. It's just little things in the acoustics of the studio that just they convince me that it's worth keeping going with this or persisting with this. Even doing that presentation that way, it was like an elemental journey, and now I'm in dark state. So, like it's just it was something for me to stay sane as well, if I could say it like that. And the dark state is pretty cool. I mean, it's also like a metaphor. Like I'm in the middle of a black hole or something, or I'm in space, or this is the Tesseract from Interstellar. Like this is what was actually going on. Like it was actually a guy with an artwork. Like who knows? Like it's just funny. It was also like a challenge, like to see like a black room. Like I'd never in my life thought about that. I'd never seen a black room before, or a room as black as this. And it was like a challenge. Is it depressing? Will it make me like have thoughts of unaliving myself? Will it demotivate me? Will it demoralize me that the room is black? And I can safely report, no, it doesn't. The presentation has continued pretty much in the same sort of theme, and it's not that much different. And it's also like the company was becoming dense with ideas of how many ideas I've poured into it, that it's almost like a black hole of ideas. Like it's just things will gravitate towards it. There's just too much put into it at this point. And it's like, whatever, Warren, I don't believe you about all those states and all of that. And it's fine, there's pictures. Like, I have pictures on my Instagram. You can go see where I was in water state, I was in earth state, I was in air state, and now I'm in dark state. Like, you can go see, there's a timeline. The only one that there's no pictures of is Fire State, the Orange Office, because that place was horrible. Like, it wasn't worth taking pictures, and at the time, we were struggling to get by. And things like smartphones and stuff like that wasn't really around, and they were really expensive, and we did not have expensive equipment. We were still wondering how we're going to pay rent at the end of the month, and electricity, and food, and just worrying about normal things. I had just come out of school. Like, I had just come out of school and was thrust into Fire State, pretty much. So to summarize all the states and their themes and what went around them: Fire State, the Orange Office, things were painful, life was painful, everything was very difficult. Even just to move around in this office was difficult. It, it was just difficult. Everything was just difficult. Water State was a lot more physical and a lot more energy and a lot more work than Fire State, but it was fun at the same time. It was probably the room I had the most fun in was Water State. Earth State was a lot of to do with the budget and constructing spreadsheets and like just a lot of branches and like of numbers and accounts. And Air State was all about training, like physical and gaining muscle mass. That's what it was about. So what is my experience of dark state so far then? What would I say that's been about? And it feels like it's just been more of a mental challenge. Like it's been very quiet, if I could say it like that. Very quiet up until this point now that I've started making these videos. So pretty much these videos is what dark state is becoming about as well. Like one of the main points, like just getting everything out there right now, because it could mean so many different things. The darkness is themed around so many different things. So that's why it feels right to do this here. And it's got cool decorations and poster glows at night and things like that. It's just nice. Yeah. So I'm pretty much in the fifth element right now. I'm in the fifth element. This is the fifth element. It's darkness in this particular scenario. And like I say, all of that stuff is not really too relevant to the application or whatever. It's not really too much. It's just it was part of my story because if you remember, at the same time as laying the foundation of the company and what it will become, and thinking about the applications and all of those, all the software and animation and all of that stuff. Underneath that, I was also building my own profile at In Your Head Productions. So I was building my own personal profile, and that elemental journey was just part of my journey. Like it was something I did, and it's a true story, and it's pretty cool. Well, that is crazy. Actually, I went on about the elements for too long there. I do apologize, but I think that's all I can do for tonight. I didn't even realize I was going to go on for so long about it. So, yeah. Also, just to end off, like, for this session of recording, all those other products that I mentioned for the synthetic beings, you might be like, what products? And I'm like, all those, the recharging beds, the eyeballs, the filters, all of that, but at the same time, the application as well is also, because instead of using a VR headset like a person would use, those beings are going to have that built into their head, and they can see it whenever they want. But do I still train? Do I still train physically and whatever from Air State? Have I picked up? I still train a little bit, but I've lost a lot of weight in Dark State because it's not like from not training. Like I do train and whatever, but I realized after I gained enough mass and I was like over 210 pounds, like I started developing like a stomach book, like a beer belly, like sort of thing from all the protein and all that. And my body was getting a bit too big for my head. Like my head is, it's pretty small. Like, might be calling myself stupid there, but no, like I mean, it's actually physically quite small. So the more muscle mass I was getting, it was looking weird that I was getting so big and had this tiny head. So I still maintain a level of fitness in Dark State with my training and whatever, but I've lost a considerable amount of weight. Like I've gone down to about 200 pounds now because, like I say, everything's looking more in proportion. My stomach disappeared, like it started to disappear, and 200 pounds seems like a good weight. Like when I look in the mirror and stuff, it's just like things are in proportion, and yeah, I'm happy with that. So now I just train to maintain that weight. But yeah, that's all I'll leave you with tonight until tomorrow. Please enjoy another interlude where I'll play a few music pieces and just sort of stand here looking into the distance. Enjoy.